Shri Saket Gokhale.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, today is my maiden speech in this august house. And I wish to thank my leaders, Mamata Banerjee, Abhishek Banerjee, and my party, Trinamool Congress, for this opportunity.
You have 8 minutes. It is maiden speech.
Maiden speech, sir.
So, leader of the house.
I will be very grateful.
We'll make it 10 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
10 minutes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I understand. He agrees. He's a reasonable member, and I know he's very sharp, very intelligent.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
He will monetize every second of it.
Thank you, sir. Nice. Sir, I want to start with a short story today.
Please start. Go.
By the famous Danish writer Hans Christian Andersen. The story goes that there was once a very famous emperor who was extremely self-obsessed with himself and his clothes. He had no interest in his kingdom or in the welfare of his people. All that the emperor did every day was sit in his wardrobe while the ministers around him kept telling him how beautiful his clothes are and how great he is. One day, 2 cheats came to his kingdom while pretending to be tailors and offered to make new clothes for the emperor because he loved new clothes. The tailors promised to make an exquisite suit for the king with special properties. The new suit, they said, would be the finest clothes that the emperor had ever worn. But there was one special feature. They said that the suit was only for the great emperor, and the suit would be invisible to anybody that is a dishonest person. Several ministers of the emperor went to the fake tailors while they were making this suit. The ministers obviously couldn't see the suit, but then they blamed themselves for that because they were afraid that, oh, I might be branded dishonest if I can't see the suit. On the day of the great procession, the emperor went on to try the new clothes. He himself couldn't see those clothes, but obviously he did not want to claim that he's dishonest, so he went along with it. The emperor then put on his new suit and started a procession through the city. People across the kingdom had heard about the emperor's new clothes, which were so special they would be only visible to those who are honest. So out of fear, the people started screaming, oh, what beautiful clothes, what lovely clothes, because nobody wanted to be seen as dishonest or anti-national. And then suddenly one innocent child screamed from the audience, what is wrong with all of you? The emperor is naked. And this is precisely what the claims in this white paper on the economy are. They are the emperor's invisible clothes. My honorable minister colleagues here will spend hours talking about how beautiful these invisible clothes of a great emperor are. But the truth of our economy, as shown in this white paper, is that the emperor is naked. But we all have to admit one thing. This white paper is magical. Magical because after reading this white paper, I realized that something called demonetization never happened. I remember a few years ago, the Prime Minister showed up on our TV screens one fine evening and said in the next 2-3 hours, 60-70% of our currency will be demonetized. I remember my leader, Mamata Banerjee, at that point. She's not an economist, but she's connected with the hardship of the people on the ground. She said demonetization will be a disaster. And that proved to be right. People scrambled to ATMs for cash. People queued up for hours. Hundreds of people died. So ATMs had not even been configured for the new notes. They had to recalibrate all the ATMs in the country. That's how disastrous planned this move was. Then the Prime Minister came up with a genius idea. I will scrap 1,000 rupee notes, but I'll bring in 2,000 rupee notes. So the idea was, people are stuffing money in their mattresses, so let me demonetize 1,000 rupees, and let me make it easier for them by bringing a 2,000 rupee note. Only Prime Minister Modi has that kind of vision and genius in him. Sir, after that, a Prime Minister went to Japan, and laughingly in front of a crowd, he said, "Ghar mein shaadi hai, lekin paise nahi hai." Ha 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 ha. That was the level of cruelty and contempt shown for the poor people of India. So what happened after demonetization? 99% of the cash came back into the economy. Which is the reason why they have not mentioned demonetization in this white paper, because they know it was the biggest glaring failure of the Modi government. So there is also the issue of constantly shifting goalposts. This white paper is about 2004 to 2014. When Prime Minister Modi got elected, he said, I'm going to give XYZ by 2018. Then the Honorable Leader of the House, Piyush Goyal ji, would correct that and say, nee, this will happen by 2020. Then Prime Minister Modi said, 2 crore jobs per year, housing for all, doubling farmers' income by 2022. Then that deadline became 2024. But now it has become amazing, sir. Now there is only two things. We will talk about a white paper from 2004 to 2014, or we will talk about 2047. So if you want something, we're not going to talk about the present. You want something, wait for 23 years till 2047. This is what they did with the Women's Reservation Bill. They did not tell the women of India that until the census and delimitation happens, it won't be implemented. Wait for another 9 years. It's not going to happen today. But they're lying to people during the election campaign. So what is amazing is, I was watching the Mood of the Nation survey on TV yesterday. It said over 70% of people surveyed are worried about unemployment. How many times does the word unemployment figure in this white paper? 0. There is no mention of unemployment. This is very funny because Prime Minister Modi had promised 2 crore jobs per year. 2 crore jobs. He said that in his own statement. It's on the record. What is the reality? Sir, in the last 5 years, 2.7 crore jobs have allegedly been created. Prime Minister Modi has met only 35% of his promised target. So therefore, unemployment is not mentioned in this so-called white paper. Prime Minister Modi did try to cover up for it. He went to a TV channel and he said, people selling pakoras outside the channel, they're also employed. But this white paper does not even tell us how many people have started selling pakoras in the last 5 years. That is the dismal state of unemployment, that they can't even tell us how many new pakora sellers they've created. So price rise, it's hurting everybody today. What is the reality? Increasing prices of fuel and food items are breaking the back of the poor and the middle class. People of India are having to use up their savings every month just to pay the bills. So one statistic, one figure, as of last year, household savings of India are the lowest that they've been in the last 50 years. Then, my favorite part, sir. PM Modi said in 2015 that black money will be brought back from foreign countries, which will be equal to 15 lakh rupees in everybody's bank account. Then later, Mr. Amit Shah came and taught us a new word. He said it was just an election jumla. So a new word was added to a dictionary that this was a jumla. Prime Minister Modi also claimed categorically that black money brought from foreign countries would be distributed to the salary class and those who honestly pay taxes. I want to ask through you, sir, to the citizens of India, how many honest tax-paying citizens have got even 1 rupee of that black money in their account in the last 10 years? So in fact, 10.57 lakh crore of loans have been waived off. A big chunk of these loans came from fraud businessmen who were once very happy with Prime Minister Modi. These frauds took up loans, defaulted and left the country. What is more shocking is that central agencies like CD and EBI have not been able to bring these people back or these funds. But these agencies are busy going after opposition leaders. So 95% of cases against politicians by the ED are against opposition politicians. That leaves 5%. You know these 5% are? They are the ones who went into the BJP's washing machine and all the cases against them have stopped. There is not a single BJP leader being investigated for corruption. So since this government, I want to conclude, but this government has brought a white paper on the economy. I have a few suggestions for the government through you. How about a white paper on women's safety? The cover can be decorated with the photo of a famous non-wrestling Lok Sabha member from their party. How about a white paper on the cases of rising hate speech and communal attack on minorities? This white paper can also have a cover with a photo of one of their Lok Sabha members. How about a white paper on the destruction of parliament and compromising on its security? So here we have two options. We can have that white paper with a picture of 146 suspended MPs who dared to question the Home Minister, or we can have one of their Lok Sabha MPs who has a habit of inviting everybody all and sundry to the parliament. So on behalf of my party, Trinamool Congress, we reject this white paper, which not only insults the collective intelligence of parliament, but also seeks to cheat and fool the people of India. Sir, I have about a minute left in the allotted time for my maiden speech. I'm also aware, since it's my maiden speech, the House gracefully indulges me and allows me to speak. But no, sir, as a proud and self-respecting MP from a proud and self-respecting party and of a proud and self-respecting leader, I refuse to further participate in this charade and indulge the lies of these government. With the promise that the people of India will give the BJP a befitting answer to the lies in this white paper and to the Modi government in the upcoming elections, I and my party, Trinamool Congress, will now walk out of the House in protest. Thank you, sir.
walk out.